Good day, everyone. My name is Jane, and welcome to Crypto Talk with King. With me is King Igosutu Etekume, an entrepreneur, a digital marketer, a crypto enthusiast, and investor. And I'll be asking him a few questions today. He's also the founder of Crypto Talk with King. Okay, good day, Mr. Igosutu.
Thank you very much, Rishi.
Yeah. So, the first question I'll be asking you is, as a novice in the cryptocurrency world, if I want to start my cryptocurrency journey, what are the few advices you will be giving to me as a newbie?
Okay, so let me use the word fresher. Okay, now, as a fresher in the crypto space, there's one thing I always tell people, that persons that come to my DM that have known me from my crypto talk page and channel. Now, the first thing I tell them is that if you're a novice and you're a new person and you want to come into the cryptocurrency space, one of the first things you should do is properly learn. One of the first things you do is properly learn. Now, some of the first questions I get from people who come to my space is, how do I invest? What should I invest in? What should I invest in? Please recommend something for me to invest. And I always find that system flawed. The reason why I find that system flawed is because you cannot start investing in anything you have nothing about. Now, cryptocurrency space, most crypto projects invest in is like a business. Do you understand? There are certain things that you have to look out for, just like in any business. If someone comes to you with a business model and tells you that this is a business and I want you to put your money in it, what's the first thing you ask for the person? I believe that you want to ask them for their business plan. You understand? You want to ask them for their business plan. You ask them for their business plan, you go through the business plan, and then you see if it is plausible, if the business idea is plausible, if it's something that can sell, and then you say, okay, what are the marketing plans? Not just the business plan alone, you look at the marketing plans and ask, what are the marketing plans that you are putting in place to ensure that this business will sell? Now, the business looks lucrative. Now, on your own part, what are the marketing plans? Now, what are your personal experiences that you've had, or what are the personal, what are the knowledge you have to ensure that this particular business model that you're bringing forward sells? Do you understand? So therefore, it now incorporates, for me to invest in a business you're bringing to me, I have to look at the business plan to see if the business is what's feasible, if the business is something that is possible, business is something that can generate revenue over time and in turn generate a lot of profit. I'll have to look at also your plans, your marketing plans. I'll have to look at your expertise, your experience, your whatever experience, or your team, if you have a team, you understand? So those are things that we look out for in a crypto investment. Now, the first thing I tell them to do is to learn. For you to be in the crypto space, there are a lot of things you need to learn. There are a lot of things you need to learn, especially being an investor. Now, the first thing I ask you is, what do you know what to look out for in a project? Do you know what to look out for in a project? Majority of the times, we get no. I don't know what to look out for. Then you should not be asking what to invest in. Your question more should be like, how do I learn about cryptocurrency? You ask them, why is cryptocurrency? What are the use cases of cryptocurrency? They have zero knowledge about it, but they want to invest in cryptocurrency. Now, there was a post I saw and I posted on my page. When you skip the L in learning and you go ahead to N, that L will come back in multiple losses. We've had a lot of persons that will come to this space and then they begin to cry that they made a lot of losses in the cryptocurrency space. Why? What's your knowledge about cryptocurrency? Yeah, someone told me to buy this, someone told me to buy that, and I put all my life savings in crypto, and then what happened? The thing was just going down and I removed my money. I put $10,000 and in the long run, I removed about $200. Why? Because at every point when the coin was basically zero knowledge, it was just that they were buying coins as a result of recommendation. So the first thing you must learn properly. And one of the most important things you should learn is risk management. One of the most important things is risk management. Now, I get questions like, how much should I invest? These are newbies in this space. How much should I invest? How much should you invest? No one can tell you how much to invest. The amount of money you want to invest is dependent on your income and your tolerance for risk. The amount of money you want to invest is dependent on your income and your tolerance for risk. Nobody should tell you that invest this amount of money. You should know. So let's say you want to build an investment portfolio over time and then you make 100,000 naira, or let's say, let me use dollars for people that will not be Nigerians. Let's say you make $1,000. You make $1,000 a month. Every month you make $1,000, and you say from $1,000 you want to put 10% of $1,000, which is about $100 in investment. Then with time you believe that if you actually invest more, you are going to get more returns, because 10% of $100 is $10, but 10% of $1,000 is what? Is $100. So obviously, the more you invest, because it's the more risk, the more reward. You understand? Same thing, the more money you can lose. But if you decided that $10 is the amount of money you can lose, and then you want to increase your investment, I do not advise people to increase the percentage of their income that is being invested. That means if you're getting like $1,000 a month, you should not just go and start investing 20%. That's $200. I advise that you increase your earning. So if you want to start investing more in cryptocurrency, you do more by increasing your earning. So if you're earning $1,000, you have to find ways, even if it's to get other means of income. You get? I'm talking about crypto investment, not trading cryptocurrency. You understand? Because trading cryptocurrency is like a full-time job, though. So it depends on you. Yeah. So you must find a way to increase your earning. If you can actually increase your earning from $1,000 to $1,500, for instance, then instead of investing $100 a month, you're investing $150 a month. Do you understand? That's a way to actually increase your investment. So it's not, I don't really, because one of the reasons why you must ensure that in investment, you reach the amount of money you can afford to lose, is because if you don't do that, your emotions will be tied so much to the investment. And once your emotions is tied too much to your investment, it means that you would not allow the investment to mature very well before you withdraw the money, because you are scared. Believe me, we've all been there. Anybody that is a crypto investor, have all been there. Now, whenever you invest in an asset and then there is a pullback in the price of the asset, such that you begin to see massive dip, you become scared, and most times you don't want to lose the rest of it because you know you cannot afford to lose it. What happens is that you take away the money from it. And in the crypto investment, when you invest in something, when you remove the money when it's in loss, that's when you actually make a loss. The volatility in the market is what causes you to make a lot of profit. Crypto suffers high volatility. That's what can cause you to make a lot of profit. And that's the same thing that can cause you to make a lot of losses in the market. So there's a lot of things to be learned, you understand? There's a lot of things to be learned. But one thing I talk about is proper risk management, how to manage your risk, how to diversify your investment. You know, because someone recommends a coin for you or a token for you to buy, and you believe the person is a so-called expert. I'm very, very careful about what I recommend for people to buy, because I want to believe that they can properly do their own research. Not because the person is a so-called expert, so like, I can't use an expert now, he's one, you know, and then you just automatically go in there and buy without being able to do your research. You should be, even if I tell you that this coin is good and this token is good that you can actually buy, one thing you should learn is that it doesn't mean you should put your life savings. Now, nobody is the owner of the crypto space. For every project, like I said, you must ensure that you look at it, read the white paper, you must do research, first of all, ensure that there's no scam. But basically, there's a lot to learn. Now, the truth is, if you're learning cryptocurrency is evolving on a daily basis. It's a relatively new concept, yes, quite agree, it's some years old, you understand? But it's a relatively new concept. It means that there's still a wide angle that it can take. Do you understand? So it's a constant learning process. For you to be a crypto investor, it means that on a regular basis, you have to be willing to learn. For you to be a crypto investor, it means that on a regular basis, you have to be willing to learn. Consistently learning. There's no end to what you're learning presently. There's no end to what you're learning. Now, you invest in an asset. You've found an asset you want to invest in. Don't put all your money in one investment. Even that 10% that you're bringing from your monthly income, you shouldn't be in one investment. You shouldn't be in one asset. You have to go among different asset types, and then even among the same asset type, invest in multiple assets. Do you understand what I'm saying? So those are things that, as a newbie in the space, many persons will not know. So they just believe that somebody just comes, you know, especially newbies that enter into the crypto space and maybe they make some certain amount of money. The next thing they are doing is the fact that they just call their family members, invest 200,000 naira, invest this amount of money like this. You know, some persons will go ahead to borrow. I've had people who call me that they borrowed money and all that. You know, those things are actually what makes a lot of people call temp and tag crypto as scam. It's basically lack of knowledge, you understand, lack of understanding. That's what makes people to tag this thing as a scam. But when you understand these things, basically, you have certain things you must know how to properly manage your risk. And then you must have proper profit-taking plan. You must learn how to take profit. You don't have to, you must take profit. You make it small, take profit. Take partial profit. If you don't want to go ahead to take full profit, take partial profit. If you believe so much in the project, you should go ahead to take partial profit. Not just rush into this and then begin to, you know. Yet, so these things, I would always say, it all boils down to learning properly. It all boils down to learning properly. Now, I have a mentorship program where I have a lot of students from different parts of Africa that are learning under me. Most times, the first thing they do after they join the program is, would you give me signals on what to buy? What do you tell me what to buy? What should I invest in? And all that. I say, calm down. Learn well. Learn well. You understand? It's a process. It's called a learning process. It's a program. You have to learn first. When you learn, you begin to spot opportunities in the market. Some persons are so lazy. Now, I've given them a lazy route, a lazier route where all you need to do is just to spend a few hours in the market to find opportunities, find assets that you can invest in, just find some and all that. But still, they want me to tell them what to buy. They don't want to go through those videos. It happens a lot. When you give people opportunities to learn things, they don't want to learn. They're just looking for the easier route out of it. And then in the long run, they just find someone to bring. That's why I am very careful about the kind of things I recommend and the kind of people I recommend things to. Because if you have not learned properly, it all comes down to backfire. I've seen it a lot. There are persons that haven't looked up to in the crypto space. People go and start tagging them because they told they should buy some certain assets, you understand? But there's wisdom in this thing. Now, an asset that can give someone massive profit, a newbie will go into the space and collect a lot of losses from it. Because time he entered into it, he didn't take profit. He's expecting, he doesn't understand how to do a certain calculation, he doesn't understand what market capitalization has to do with price determination. You understand? So he has abnormal projections. Now you're seeing the supply of a coin is in trillions and you're expecting that coin to get to $1. It's not possible. When the total market cap of cryptocurrency generally was about 2.something trillion before it fell down during this. So you can imagine that. You can imagine that. So there are a lot of things. The basic thing is that you have to learn. And then the learning, it doesn't stop. The learning continues. The learning doesn't stop. The learning continues for a period of time. Understand? So my advice to anybody who wants to be in the crypto space is that you
Should learn
properly. So thank you very much.
Okay. As you said, cryptocurrency is very new. So a lot of people will be using the opportunity to fall into ponzi schemes and all. What will you tell a novice and a newbie?
Yes, thank you for bringing up this question.
Yeah.
Crypto Ponzi is the hallmark of the day. Crypto Ponzi is the hallmark of the day. When you say it's the hallmark, I get it regularly from their various platforms. Crypto Ponzi that is coming out on a regular basis. Now, what is the characteristics of a crypto Ponzi scheme? It's like in every other thing. Now, crypto is a currency. Cryptocurrency is a kind of currency. So just like in your fiat currencies, there are Ponzi that comes up in the cryptocurrency space. There are a lot of Ponzi that also come up. You get, so you begin to see things like on a daily basis you make 2% of your investment. You understand? You make 2%, short 2% of your investment. There's no risk at all like that. I will tell you that any platform that comes and starts telling you that there is 100% is 100% secure. The ultimate risk is the crashing of the platform with all your money. It's not possible. Do you understand? What is the business model that brings you this particular return on a daily basis? There's no sustainable business model. So when any platform comes and just tell you this is it, you get 2%, there's no risk in it, you get 2% on your USDT, just put USDT there, you're making 2% on a daily basis. Do you know how much it's going to be? So imagine putting $1 million and you're telling me I was getting 2% of $1 million every day and I want to leave it for a period in time. Do you know how much that is? So 2 times 30, that's about 60. So in a month, I'm getting about 60% of $1 million if I'm putting $1 million. When you now begin to look at it, like where is the money coming from? How is the money generated in these platforms and all that? How is the money generated? 2% every day? That's the thing. Now, Ponzi schemes that in the crypto space, they are usually characterized by what? By greed. The reason why people fall into Ponzi schemes is because they enter into this crypto space with a lot of greed in it. So they want to they don't want to admit the risks. They don't want to admit or they don't want to digest that there's risk involved in these things. So they just begin to put their money anywhere and they want to begin to cash out. I don't like gambling with my money, as a matter of fact. So that's the reason why once you just come out and then a lot you now begin to see, bring these persons and all that. The only basic way you can earn from it is just bringing more persons and more persons. Yes, I understand the essence of referral because even most big platforms, they incorporate referral models. Yes, so most big platforms they incorporate referral models, even as Binance when incorporate, but however the case may be, there are some, once the predominant thing is to bring people for you to earn there's usually a flaw in that system. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So the only way for earning is for you to bring people into the system. The only way for earning, and then they're telling you that it's cryptocurrency, it's built on smart contracts, it's this, it's all that, like that. I get referrals, you understand? Because every system wants more persons. So one way is to what, incentivize the people that are coming or bringing in people. You understand? So, but once they now make it around bringing in people, bring two persons, bring this and all that, like that, you now begin to question people. Because I am someone who don't like to bring referrals. So me, I personally go away from crypto. It's very difficult for me to fall for crypto ponzi. I fallen for crypto ponzi only once, and the reason why I did that was because my mom suggested that I invested in the platform. That person was there. See, this person here, he stays here. I know where the person is staying. But the truth is that when the platform crashed, nobody knew the whereabouts of this person. So since then, I'm very skeptical about Ponzi schemes. I don't even do it. Not skeptical, I don't. I've closed my mind to Ponzi. So when you now begin to see these things materialize themselves in cryptocurrencies, they all have one similar characteristics. You understand? They have one similar characteristics. They promise you profit, a lot of profit. There's no risk involved in the business. Their business model does not attach any risk. You are only going to be getting more profit. You just bring more people, get more profit. When you begin to see that, it means that you need to question the authenticity of that platform. Do you understand? Because even Binance will warn you of the risk. So for a newbie, I advise them to use Binance. You understand? Newbies, I advise them to use Binance. Even Binance will warn you of the risk associated with trading cryptocurrencies. As Binance is there, the business model is not trying to attract people by telling them that they will get only profit. You can lose your money. That's what cryptocurrency is. Volatility. The fact that there's volatility, it's simple to understand. The fact that the price of an asset can move up and the price of an asset can move down. Once it moves up, you make profit. Once it's moving down so much, you make losses in the market. That shows you that this is how it works. But once a platform now begins to tell you that there's just short profit, there's no losses, then it's questionable to me. And most times my sixth sense is something like that, or my intuition is never wrong. Because before you know, the next thing, the platform has already crashed. So that's what I've observed over time.
Okay. So like, how will you advise us to create? How do we create a proper risk management plan?
A proper risk management plan.
Yes.
Okay. Basically, if you want to create, now let me give you a very simple method of creating a risk management plan. Very simple. What I just tell you. First of all, learn about diversification of assets. Understand how to diversify your investment amongst different asset types. You understand? We have different kind of coins like that. We have stable coins, we have payment coins, different types like that. So you learn to diversify. Then secondly, you should, because in proper risk management, one thing you have to do in risk management is ensuring that the amount of money you invest, so I've talked about it before, you must ensure that your investment should not cause you to be overly emotional. That's one thing. First things first. You don't invest anything that will make you very overly emotional. Diversification, then you must ensure that you also proper understanding, knowing your own risk tolerance, knowing your own tolerance for risk. Do you understand? So you have to know how much you are willing to risk, and then creating proper profit-taking plan. Do you understand? Proper profit-taking plan. You must always ensure that for every time you see a profit, you must take partial profit. Do you understand? You must take at least partial profit. Do you get? So those things are just a simplified method of risk management that you can just incorporate into your listen. So don't go on YouTube and see that they say this particular asset is still going to go to $1 and now it's still 0.0000 and then you want to leave all your assets. No. Take profits. Do you understand? Take profits. When I started out, one thing I do is when I see a particular rise, when it's substantial, when I see a particular rise in the market like that, because crypto is something that can give you 3x your investment, 4x your investment in a couple of days. You understand? In a couple of days, it can give you 3x. So most times when I see something like that, the first thing I do is I withdraw the initial capital I invested. Do you understand? I can invest initial capital and so, and then I leave the remaining one if I still believe so much in the project. Do Do you understand? I still believe so much in the project. Again, I'm not talking about understanding the movement of price and all that, but taking profit is actually just take partial profit at various points in time. These are just simplified model of you actually trying to manage risk. But the most ultimate risk management, two ultimate risk management scheme you can employ is first of all identifying your tolerance, your risk tolerance level, and then secondly ensuring that there is diversification of assets. Because by the time you invest in 5 assets, let's say you have $1,000, you invest $200 in 5 assets class. You understand different assets, and then this is doing so well. For now, this is not doing so well. You see that in the long run, why you will be overall profitable. Do you understand? In the long run, you will be overall profitable. So that's that.
Okay, we're almost coming to the end of this interview. And last question for you is, where do you see cryptocurrency in the next 5 years?
Cryptocurrency is the future. Cryptocurrency is the future. There are a lot of potentials in cryptocurrency. The way the world is moving to and the massive adoption cryptocurrency is getting, there's going to be massive adoption of cryptocurrency. Where transactions will be happening basically in cryptocurrency. Now I understand that a lot of countries are going to adapt cryptocurrency as a medium of payment. Understand? A lot of countries, a lot of business are already incorporating cryptocurrency as a model for receiving payment and all that. So a lot of utilities built around cryptocurrency, use cases around cryptocurrency. So there's going to be massive adoption of cryptocurrency, and it's going to change the future of finance. So that's how I see cryptocurrency in the next 5 years.
Thank you very much. We have come to the end of this interview. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you. I remain Jane, and he is King.
Go have a wonderful day.